Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve Ramona and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast. Steve Ramona.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am so excited to have you join us today. Here's why. We dedicated this podcast to exploring the idea of doing your work and your life with a purpose, and that purpose is using your servant's heart. We all have that. You use it, and you can make a difference. Hey, it could be the littlest difference to the largest difference, but impact's impact. Doesn't matter how big or small it is, you can make that impact. We want you to be motivated, inspired, and educated to make an impact in your world. That's what you're going to learn from this podcast guest. And by the way, besides his cool jacket he's wearing, you're going to love this guy because he started something as an Uber driver. I'm just going to tease you a little bit with that. And you Uber drivers out there, listen to this because this could happen to you. But while you're listening to my guest today, I want you to think about how you're going to serve yourself and others today and what impact you're going to create today. Here's the power of today. You wait tomorrow, and guess what? 2 months go by and you haven't done it. And that goes across the board. So start today, make an impact and make a difference today. And today's episode is proudly sponsored by our incredible partner, Pantheon Alliance. Imagine being part of this exclusive community of high-income, successful business owners and entrepreneurs for extremely diverse industries. Together, they're building a thought leader platform to impact and change the world. For more information, reach out to me or check the show notes, and we'll get you all the information you need. With that being said, impact can come from driving an Uber. How many of you out there have driven Uber, Lyft, or been Instacart, DoorDash, done those cool little jobs, which I think are great. Somebody can make some extra money, but you find a business that's actually flourishing and you make 7 figures. It's my guest today. Nelson, welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Love that jacket. I got to say it again. You have style, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
So KidMoto, I just realized right when I said that, what this is all about. You developed a technology, and I think you're making a huge impact because our children are a big part of our lives, are so important. Talk about how it came about and what it's all about.
Steve, I was a yellow cab driver in New York City. Loved it. And I was an Uber driver. And I saw a need in the market. Just saw a need in the market. I actually didn't even know how to install a child car seat, and I just saw a need. No one wanted to work with child car seats, and parents need to travel with children that need installed child car seats. And the rest is history. It was a crazy idea, but forget about it. It's here.
Yeah, and you're right. It's something that's so, I don't want to say menial, a simple task that really is a simple task, but the results could be very terrifying and tragic if it's not done right, correct?
Yeah.
What are some of those things you've seen or heard when a child seat's not put on correctly?
Oh, forget about it. I'm a CPS technician. I child passenger safety. So yeah, I've seen a lot.
Yeah, that's a tough go. What has been your experience building this technology?
It's been incredibly hard, and at the same time fulfilling because we're providing real value for a real consumer base, and there's so much value to what we do, providing something that not even Uber would do. It does well. And the entire industry just frayed away from it because it was extremely hard to create this sort of business model and to create the technology to facilitate it.
I love what you said, which every entrepreneur will say one time or hundreds of times in their life. It's really hard, but I love what I do.
Yeah.
And that's the key, because if you don't love what you do and have a passion, the hard part is really harder and stops you, right?
Yeah, you need come with a lot of energy.
Yeah, yeah. What's a tip you leave an entrepreneur that's starting out today?
I'm sorry?
Well, what tip would you give or piece of advice to an entrepreneur listening today that wants to start out, go from their 8 to 5 to start a business?
It's possible.
Oh, nice, nice. So walk me through KidMoto and what it's all about. I'm a parent. I don't have kids myself, but I'm a parent with kids and I need a car seat. What do you guys, the solution you provide?
KidMoto is a mobile app that connects traveling parents with small children to drivers that provide pre-installed child car seats in 53 cities across the United States. So if you're going on vacation and you don't want to travel with child car seats, we can have a driver pick you up with a car, and the car seat is already set up, pre-harnessed, and you could go to the airport and get picked up in your destination. And it will be safe, convenient, and you can ditch the car seats when flying with a baby.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm traveling. I don't want to take the car seat on the plane and lug it around on my trip. Hopefully I'll find one on the other side. You provide that service where I can pull up a car. Is it on Uber and Lyft? How's that work? How do I find a car with a travel permanent seat, car seat, child seat?
We have professional drivers in executive vehicles that are trained to install these car seats. So it's not a typical Uber driver providing the services, because the level of vetting is important, and also the quality.
Yeah. So I pull up the app, and that's where, like I would Uber or Lyft, but your uniqueness, which I love, is every person anyone I grab off that app, when they come pick me up, there's a car seat ready to go to take my baby or two.
Yes.
Wow. Is the cost the same as an Uber? Am I going to pay a little extra premium for having KidMoto as part of my journey?
Yes, it's a premium service, and you get what you pay for. These are not random people. These are vetted professional people who drive for a living. They are professional drivers. So you get that quality. The vehicles are extraordinary. We're talking about the top of the line, like Cadillac Escalade, or like a SUV, or like Mercedes, like those sorts of vehicles.
Yeah, I could see the value add, even if I want to go to a restaurant with my wife and we got our baby with us. Instead of driving, we want our baby to be safe and have to take it in and out. I know it probably doesn't work that way always, but I could see where people like, hey, I just want to have a seat in there. I jump in a driver's car, they take me back and forth, and away we go. I like that, because the other side of the coin is the seat's not in properly, or there's not a seat at all, and an accident happens. That's not good.
Yes, and it's just a lot more easy. It's just easy. You know what you're getting. It's not like you're going to, like I don't know, a Hertz rent-a-car, and you don't know if you're getting the right car seat. You have to install it. It could be a Japanese car, it could be a German car. It could, it's so the car seats are the seat belts are different. You just understand the locking mechanism. So it gets cumbersome, and if you have like 2 or 3 children, forget about it. It's like you're trying to install a car seat, harness it, meaning change the straps, right? So you're trying to change the straps, and at the same time you're trying to install it. Forget about it. It's cumbersome. It's hard.
Yeah. And I don't have kids, so I'm like, trying to figure this out as I was looking you up, going, I guess there could be a need. Then I looked at your numbers, and you hit 7 figures.
Yeah.
I'm not a big, I know numbers well, but I don't like to focus on that. But in this case, it does. It means this is a need out there for people.
It is. Parents, it's hard to travel with child car seats, and then when you're traveling with children, you're already traveling with a ton of luggage. So if you can like ditch the car seats and when you're flying with a baby, it's just a phenomenal type of service. Especially if you're like being picked up and like leaving, like I don't know, let's say Los Angeles and getting picked up in Bozeman or Sarasota or Houston. Like it's easy.
Yeah, no, it's I get it, like the uniqueness of it and the needs there. What's your secret sauce that got you to seven figures?
You have to be relentless. Can't give up. You just cannot give up. I said it earlier, it's possible. You just have to be every day, just keep at it, keep at it.
I like that. What gets you up in the morning then?
Continuous growth. The train has left the station, and so the train has left the station. We're doing so well, and now I'm seeing bigger and better things to do as we continue to move forward. Kind of like Uber started with Uber, then Uber Eats, Uber Freight, Uber delivery. Just like the opportunities are just endless, and it's how ambitious do you want to be? And like we're serving really niche, underserved communities, and I love that because not many people can create the technology to provide real value, and we're doing that. So there's tremendous value in providing for an underserved communities.
I love that people need to realize that when you start a business, entrepreneur, founder, whatever business it is, it's going to evolve and change. So tell my audience how it's changed for you and how you pivoted since 2016, by the way, which is, guys, he's been around 8 years. This is not something he started yesterday.
Actually, it hasn't changed. The vision is always the same. To provide airport transportation for parents with small children. That's the vision, and our mission statement is to get there. It's like it's always been very similar. So we're not deviating from the ultimate vision, but now we're adding new product lines because we can replicate our technology.
Very smart guy you are. You answered the question. You must have read my mind, because that's exactly. So many people, entrepreneurs, business owners, change their vision. I think that's a pivot, and it can be, but that's a huge pivot. Keep your vision, keep your purpose, like you did.
Right? Stick with if you're shooting at a target, you have to have a target.
Yeah, amen. And you're adding products. What does that future look like? And I love that you're doing that, because that's where entrepreneurs and business owners need to go. What can we add? What can we take away and bring in? Because ever changing.
Yes, we have to be very tactical and focused on things that we're changing and that we're adding products. You just can't try everything, right? It just consumes resources. So we're doing a company called KidMoto, which is picking up newborn infants from hospitals. So think about, having a baby, and it's stressful, it's traumatic, and hey, you can have a car come pick you up at the airport, at the hospital with pre-installed newborn infant seat. Forget about it. It's forget about it. That's a great product for new parents. It's outstanding, because generally new parents don't understand how to install a newborn car seat. But now you just have the most important thing in your hands. 5 pound, 6 pound newborn, and how do you want to do you want to put the put a car seat in at that point? Because once you leave the hospital doors, forget about it.
It's over. Yeah. And if it's not done right, again, there's your problems. They fall out, accident, or, they're not happy. And there's so many things, but that's a really cool pivot. I didn't think about that, but you're right. Yeah. And then somebody can pick them up, father can run there, get dropped off, have their baby, come back. They've got a car seat for Yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing
It's
about
it's
entrepreneur, go ahead.
it takes the stress out of the entire situation. It's because it's a very traumatic time for both parents. So it will provide that safety assurance and also the convenience of not having to travel, like having to like put in a car seat or a newborn
Right.
infant seat, things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, anxiety is big. I've heard. I'm like I said, I've not had children, but hearing from actually, my wife's sister's daughter just had a baby, her first baby, and there was a lot of anxiety. I can't hear from afar. So you're right. Why add to it? Let's take some away because there already is having a baby. Take some of that away. I love that. One thing I tell business owners, and this is a great tip for everybody out there: feedback from your customers is important. Now you're talking to parents, which talk about an emotional thing because babies are emotional, taking care
Yeah.
of their safety. What has feedback have you learned from your parents, customers, and what have you learned?
Oh, we're always learning a lot from the
Yeah.
consumer base. We look at our reviews, our emails, and we're always trying to figure out how to create a greater customer journey. Right, just the best customer journey to provide for our for our passengers, and uh, we always listen to the consumers about we listen to them, and it's like, okay, well, how do we create this, how do we like automate this, how do we create it, just a really good customer journey. Think Amazon, right? Think just like, how do you create a great customer journey that's easy and one, two, three, like that. So
Yeah. And they're the ones using it. You're not using, your staff's not using as much as they are. So when they tell you, hey, I don't like these colors, you might not change it for that. But when you get feedback like that and it's multiple feedbacks, you can look at it. It doesn't mean you have to change either, right?
it doesn't mean that you have to change. But it's always good to listen and to see it, and then you can make a decision based on that feedback.
You've had some life challenges. I realized going through your bio, you're in a
Yeah.
serious train accident. What happened and how'd you overcome that to be so positive?
Oh, yeah, man. I think I was hit by a New York City subway train when I was younger. I was in a coma for about 3 weeks, and the rest is history. Uh,
Wow.
I can't stop. I can't stop. I just don't think about it that often. I really didn't for most of my life. Because you just have to keep going forward. No
Yeah.
excuses.
I know people that have near life experiences. Wow. And I'm so glad you're here. Praise the Lord for that. Have you learned more that you got a second shot at life, things like that, that go, hey, when those little obstacles come in, it's like, hey, I almost died so many years ago. Hey, that person not returning my call is not a big deal. Do you see that in yourself as well?
Oh, it's like built in, right? Like I'm an entrepreneur, so it's like uh, I just keep going, right? Failure, I don't. There's no excuses. When you're an entrepreneur, there's no excuses. No
Yeah.
excuses. That's it. Um, and you can't always look back and, oh, my dog bit me in eighth grade, and that's the reason.
Yeah.
That's sort of I fell down in 11th grade, and because of that, I can't throw football. I don't know, right? Uh, I just can't look back and say, oh, because of my past experience, it's fully indicative of where I'm headed in the next 2 years. You just
Yeah.
can't have those excuses.
It's interesting, audience. Here's a tip. You don't have to be hit by a subway to learn these lessons he's teaching you right now, and extremely successful. That's why I love stories like yours. Not what happened. You've learned what you survived. That's the most important thing. But we
Yeah,
can learn so much from a potential tragedy like that to where you are today, super successful, right?
it does. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you start; it's where you end, right? And it's that journey.
Amen.
But no excuses, Steve. No excuses.
Yeah, I love that. You're right. It's not, it's the end that's the most important. And legacy, what legacy you're leaving. You're leaving a beautiful legacy.
That's
What's the
it.
future look like for KidMoto?
We're about to start raising some money under a company, our parent company, Moto Nation. So, Moto Nation owns KidMoto, Baby Moto, Bus Moto, and another medical company. And we are expanding, are expanding our team again, and it's super exciting because it's we just have a great team. So I work with a tremendous group, and it's amazing. It's amazing to work with smart people.
Yeah, teams are so important, aren't they?
Yes, yes. Invest in people.
Yeah, as I tell entrepreneurs, even solopreneurs, it's not the Nelson show. It's not the Steve show. It's the team show. You're just
It
there
is.
as a figurehead, but everybody working together is why you're probably super successful.
Yeah, I will say Rome was not built in one day, and Rome was not built by one man, right? So, you think about it, right? Like everyone's trying to build Rome with one person. Come on, seriously?
Yeah. And Rome didn't have car seats. So they didn't have to worry about or cars. So they didn't have to worry about car seats. But man, you're an absolute blessing. This is so
Thank you.
powerful because as I think about it, again, I'm looking from the outside because I don't have children, but I'm thinking as people with children, it's just so important that they're safe. My wife lives her life with her 4 kids, and they're older now, but how safe, how they're taken care of, especially mothers. Nothing wrong with father, but mothers with that maternal instinct, you're kind of a godsend for them in a sense with this tool or with this app.
It's been super hard to create and to just to market, but that's part of the journey, right? It makes you stronger. Like, the hard work, the 20-hour days consistently, 20 hours. It's like that's the reality of being an entrepreneur, and there's value to that, and it makes you stronger. And every time you fall down, it's like I felt tremendous thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But it's a beautiful thing because you get back up, you fall down, forget about it. Just get back up and move on. That's part of, and every time that happens to you, it becomes habitual. So you just get back into the habit of, getting back up and just move on.
Yeah. And every time you send a child in a car seat with one of your cars, you're saving a life potentially. And that,
thank you.
I know people are like, oh, you're being, no, an accident happened today and the children has passed away. I mean, I had a guest on his 70s. His mom and his sister were in a car and they got hit head on and the hood went through the window, killed them both almost instantly. But if they had a car seat and she was in the back, well, that was the 70s. They didn't have any of that. So right there, I'm thinking there's a scenario where your KidMoto, if it was around back then, we can't look back, but there's a time that I know of that, somebody lost a sister and a mother, with one accident. So it's important, and I'm here to support you.
Thank you.
I want to ask one question. Let's have some fun. I'd like to end with some fun. So you have a reservation at a restaurant, Nelson. You've got 4 seats. One you're occupying because you're going to sit. In the other 3 seats, who would you invite, dead or alive? Why would you invite them? And what food would you order?
I would order a steak. Let's start backwards.
Okay. Steak it is. Big tomahawk. Let's go crazy. Big tomahawk.
Yes. Muhammad Ali.
Nice. Who else?
Sorry?
Who else? 2 others.
Michael Bloomberg.
Wow.
Michael Bloomberg and Jeff Bezos.
Man, that's one heck of a table from sports to a billionaire. Let's get a 5th seat. I want to join you. I want to join that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Even for just the steak, I would go. But besides that, I'd love to hear those guys talk. Thank you very much. How could you're doing so many great things, but people listening, how can they support you and how can they connect with you?
I'm on LinkedIn, Nelson Nigel, and everyone can find me there. And I'm active, so send me a request, and we can, you know, we could link up.
And I'm going to do some promo here. He doesn't know I'm doing this, but I just thought of it. I would guess if he's in 52 US cities, if you're a city and you see KidMoto's not there, reach out to him via LinkedIn or go on his website and reach out to him and say, hey, I want, I'm looking for our city, because we need to build this. 52 cities is not enough. It needs to be in more cities. And let's push for that, because let's save kids. If we can save children every day, I think most people will be in for that. And with that being said, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and not for the usual reasons. I got this many subscribers. And I have a lot, and that's great. I love them. But even more so, to listen to this show again, you can easily find it, or a great guest like Nelson that you want to access or listen to again. I think the more times you listen to a podcast you like, the more you're going to learn, like Nelson did today. He was just incredible. The other thing is you share it with family and friends. Hey, I just heard this podcast about Nelson. He's helping children with KidMoto, and share it with them and have them subscribe so they have access. Also comment on the YouTube. If there's a comment for Nelson, I'll get it to him. Don't worry. I'm always monitoring that. Or if it's a critique for this podcast, me and Nelson want you, the audience, to love this podcast, because it's all about you. It's not about us. And with that being said, me and Nelson want to thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.